You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna, Louise, Veronica Ciccone. I'm your unofficial celebration tour correspondent, Stefan. Today on the show, we have Brandon, who attended last night's celebration tour in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes.
Hello, Brandon.
Hello. I feel like I should say reporting from the scene, right?
Yeah.
You're the anchor, and I'm the on the scene news reporter.
Brandon, let's go live to Brandon, who's on the scene in Cleveland, Ohio. Brandon, tell us what you see. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I think we're having some technical difficulties. I can't hear you. There was tech. I had to. There's.
I know. So let's talk about that, because somebody had messaged me saying, they're like, the tirade she must have gone on after last night's show. What happened?
Okay, so at the beginning of Vogue, right? When she comes around the little cake, as soon as she sat down to start singing Vogue, she's doing this with her in-ears. Like she was pushing them in, or they weren't in, but she was singing. And then, the number works its way down the runway.
Yep.
And the whole time she's doing this and trying to sing. That's definitely probably a song where there's like probably a little bit of track with her, to sweeten it up.
Yeah.
But she's still singing, and she's trying to hear. It's like she couldn't hear what was going on. So then when they sat in the chairs for the ballroom judging,
yes,
a tech guy came up and starts fiddling with that little pack, that's in the back of the costume.
So he's on the runway with her.
They came up on stage, and he's adjusting chords or giving her a new pack. I couldn't really tell. And then the number goes, and you could tell sometimes she was talking into her microphone and you weren't hearing anything come out.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if they had her mic off, or she's able to talk to technicians without it coming out for the whole thing. Anyway, so then that number ends. And then let's see, we go from there into Human Nature. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Human Nature. And then, right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so from Human Nature, she's singing it. She's still fiddling. And it's like, you could just tell she was uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we get to Crazy for You. And she's singing. And then like all of a sudden you don't hear her. But the audience, right? That's such an audience, like, sing-along number, was singing so loud. She was like, yeah, sing the words, right, with me. And then at one point, how's it go? Like, crazy for you. She's like, I can't hear the music. Literally. And she just kind of quit and let the music keep playing. So she was singing live.
Yeah,
there was no backing track at all, because if she wasn't singing, you just heard the accompaniment. Yeah. And then she lit that fire on stage and was like, peace out. Because that goes
somebody said that she threw the mic pack into the fire.
No, I didn't see that. I just saw like whatever that little sparkly thing.
She usually like lights a match and chucks that. And maybe they thought that's the match was the.
But once she came back on for like the next regular rest of the sessions of the show, we were good.
Okay, but somebody else, I was thinking it was the same person, they had messaged saying she threw the mic pack into the fire, which again, I was like, well, good for you, Madonna. Like, that would be hysterical.
There's no way, because it was way back here. She's wearing that bustier, that black.
Yeah.
So it's way back here in the center
of her back.
No way.
Yeah, she's not that flexible. Like she can't like disjoint her, like dislocate her shoulder.
And it's locked into her costume.
Yeah. But then they said that there was another number that she was doing that, and she like yelled at the guys, like, don't you come up on stage. If you come up on stage, I will kill you.
Oh, okay. So what that was the don't tell me section, when she starts talking and telling a story, and the microphone, comes up from the stage, and she walks up to it. She was like adjusting it, but it was so locked in, she couldn't even kind of wiggle it. And she was like, that's when she was like, don't anybody try to come up here and adjust. Like, it was total sarcasm, right? Like, you see me struggling here. Nobody come and help out.
Oh, I see. So she was basically like saying, somebody please help me, but nobody was coming
that's
up.
The way I interpreted it. But the thing is, I have to say, right, having been to many tours before, and where we know she's very regimented, things need to go a certain way. She just kind of handled everything with grace and with a laugh. And she's like, well, that's the way things go sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? And in fact, when she was talking about the microphone, that speech started talking about, oh my God, I love what I do. And she was so thankful to the audience and yada, yada. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself, but
no, that's fine. Just, that's the whole point. We just hop around. Yeah. I didn't see videos of any of her speeches last night. So what was she sort of covering the same stuff that she's been covering? It couldn't have been anything too crazy because I haven't seen anything.
Well, this was my second time actually seeing the show.
Yes. Where was your first?
New York, Madison Square Garden.
Okay. And yes. Exciting. And as a result of your trip to Madison Square Garden, you got to attend the coveted pop-up shop, which had some very exclusive merch, including the t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, which is, absolutely love this t-shirt. It's the watercolor artist. I always blank on his name. I should really write his name down every time I forget. Anyway, the guy who does the watercolor images of her for Bitch I'm Madonna. Some of his t-shirts are at the pop-up shops. They were in London and then they were at Madison Square Garden. This is the Justify My Love one, and it's heavenly. Thank you for donating that to the show, Brandon. That was a wonderful. Yes, you're wearing. Not only is he wearing the Blonde Ambition tour jacket, but he's also wearing the Gautier Like a Virgin cone bra t-shirt that you, I guess, helped some money for Raising Malawi.
Yeah, because it's $150. So
yeah, that's a pricey t-shirt. So the funny thing, Brandon and I were talking about this on the pre-show, the difference in t-shirt sizes varies dramatically. So be very careful when you go to the merch stands, because the watercolor t-shirt that I'm wearing is a large. This basically fits like I envision a medium would fit. It's snug. If I had gotten a medium in this t-shirt, it would be a crop top. It would be way too tiny. Brandon, on the other hand, is wearing an extra large of the Gautier cone bra.
And I'm not.
And it looks like, what size would you normally wear, Brandon?
I would probably buy normally a medium. Like if I was just going to
the extra large. So you're saying that shirt runs really small.
Well, and it only comes, now this is according to what they told me in the pop-up shop, that it only comes in a large and extra large.
Well, that's probably because they couldn't get children's smalls. I mean, if you went to a medium, it'd be like, for a 12-year-old, it would just be way too small.
But I will tell you, the quality of this shirt is very different than like the shirt you're wearing. It just feels a little like softer,
more luxe, a little bit more expensive. Yeah. Well, I would hope so for $150. Jesus.
I do have to say, I do have a good story about this shirt from last night. Can I tell you can I spill some tea?
Well, that's what the point of the show is. I mean,
okay.
Come on.
So come on. When I saw the show first of all, when I saw the show in New York, I was holding up the back wall of Madison Square Garden, right? I was.
Oh, you were a little far.
A little far, like very last row, top section, and it was still a great view.
Sure.
But last night, last minute ticket, first row, in front of what I call the burning up, open your heart catwalk.
Yep.
Right there.
Oh, nice.
And so when she came down front and she's doing her little speech before burning up, she's like, hey, Cleveland, and she even like called people out because some people were sitting, which shocked me, but they were kind of over in the side, the lower bowl, if you will. And she's like, what'd she say? She said, if I sit down, you can sit down. But if I'm standing, you're standing. So that was fun. And then she pointed out, like, thanking the fans. I'm so grateful for you. And she noticed like a girl wearing an actual like cone bra. She's like, oh, nice cone bra, nice cone bra. So then I got excited and I'm like right in front of her line of sight. And I'm jumping up and down. I'm like doing this, And she goes, nice shirt.
Nice.
And then she goes, and please buy more merch. And then you could see she kind of giggled at herself, like,
yeah,
whatever.
Well, because that's where she's making her money. as we all theorize that the merch is what's we're basically funding the biopic, you know.
Oh, well, there
So
you go.
after she wraps the tour,
Yeah.
We there's many theories of what she's doing after the tour.
Mhm.
I will still pray, hope that we get some new music in some way, shape, or form,
Same.
whatever that may be. Just
Yeah.
a song, Madonna, just one song in
Yes.
2024, please.
Yeah.
A new song. But I theorize she's probably also going to be working on the biopic finally.
I'll take new music. I'll take new music.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I've heard things that no, she's not coming out with new music. There's rumors that she is coming out with new music. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I go to bed at night and pray to my little spirit guides that maybe Madonna will find it in her heart to gift us a song.
But I do have to tell you, so after the show's over, I had made friends with the person next to me, right? That's what we do as Madonna fans. We meet each other.
Yep.
And he goes, "Oh my God, did you hear? She pointed at and liked my shirt." And I was like, huh. And he was wearing like a CBGBs?
Oh, CBGBs,
like, yeah. And I go, I thought she was talking about my shirt. And he was like, "Oh my God, maybe you're right." Because I was like, well, it went from the cone bra to the thing and then the merch and I don't know. But his name was Greg. So if he's listening to this, Greg, we don't know. Maybe it was your shirt.
I'm going to say it was your shirt.
I win. Yay.
Did you buy more merch last night?
Oh, God, I was so tempted, you know, but
because you kind of did some serious shopping at the pop-up shop in New York.
Yeah. I mean, I have the jacket and I have this. I've really been eyeing the black sweatshirt that is all like glittered. It says Celebration Tour, big, large M. And
I love that too. I love that too.
I saw it in person. I'm like, oh, it's so glittery. But like I said, I live here in Houston.
Yeah. When would you wear that?
When would I ever?
When are you wearing the? Well, I was going to say you do a little bit of traveling.
I do travel for work.
You're coming up Northeast soon, so you should be able to get some wear and tear on the Blonde Ambition bomber because that is not a Texas jacket.
Correct. Word to the wise, FYI, just anybody that's out there, the little tag. Be aware that this can come undone.
Yes. Oh, you didn't know that?
I did when I pulled this out of my travel bag today because I had worn it yesterday. I was like,
yes,
oh
the little red tag that's on one of the zippers on the sleeve. Yes, that does come off in case you don't want to wear it.
Yes. But to your question,
that's what's great. It can go right in the little sleeve pocket.
That's
so
true.
You can just unzip it and tuck it in there.
That's true. But to your point, I did not buy any more merch, but I was eyeing it. But I will tell you, they did have some limited amounts of this.
Mm-hmm.
They had some of the watercolor. I did not see.
Oh, did they?
I didn't see yours. I saw the black one that is sort of yellow and blues.
The like true blue one.
Yeah, it's like it's on a black t-shirt.
I think so.
I did not see the Who's That Girl white satin.
Oh, interesting. Maybe that's sold out already.
So yeah. And it was, let me just word to the wise. This is what I've learned from both New York and now in Cleveland. Walk the arena, not only just because it's fun to see people. And that was awesome seeing all the people dressed up, young, old, everything, but different merch stands had different things. And I found one that seemed almost like they had all the things, all the limited things, but it was the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, the other ones had like limited amounts of things.
Yeah. Well, and like Liberty and I mentioned after our Philly show, get it before the show starts, because if you wait until after, they will sell out. Like the merch I guess they bring limited quantities to each show, and then it's done.
That's right. That's right.
You have all that time. That's why you get there early. Get there early, do some shopping, have some drinks, mingle with people, and then go for your seat around 9, unless you want to be there for the DJ, which I happen to like. I mean, it's kind of fun.
The DJ was so great.
Who was it?
Oh, you know what? I should have taken a picture of her Instagram. She had it on the screen, but she was doing like all Madonna mixes.
Oh, I think it was the same woman who was in Philly. I forget what her name is.
Yeah, it was a woman.
She was in Philly, and she was
so
great.
Fun.
Yeah. I think I
fun.
saw her traveling because I follow her now on Instagram. Again, I'm terrible with names.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah.
But then I did get this merch.
Oh, yeah. So you got the VIP little knapsack.
which we
Were
didn't
you,
know.
oh, so you
We were
weren't immaculate VIP. You were just,
just regular old VIP.
regular anything not immaculate VIP. Well, so I was VIP for Philly, but like I was like the VIP that didn't even get to go into the VIP experience. So like in DC, I was VIP where we got to go into the room and get Madonna
Yeah.
candy and get
Yes.
Madonna drinks and this and that.
Yes.
But for Philly VIP, it was like, here's your knapsack, enjoy the show.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
stickers,
stickers and the
lanyard, and
lanyard,
then
the
a
celebration tour hat, and then
lithograph.
the lithograph. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. There's a little thing in here. That's nice that they put it in a sleeve though.
yeah. Like a little
To keep it
record.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because the whole idea of me even going to Cleveland, like you said, I travel for work, so I happen to be in the area. And a coworker was like, "Want to go?" I was like, "Sure." And we just got on SeatGeek and got these tickets. And he's like, "Oh my God, these are VIP." And I go, "Well, what does that mean?" And he goes, "I don't know." I go, "Well, we should probably get a goodie bag or something." So
Yeah.
we figured it all out.
Nice. So, so after your second time seeing the show, what is your impression of Celebration?
Everything that you've said multiple times on these various interviews, it is a show that is meant to be viewed from the front.
Mm-hmm.
I fully agree with that, because I felt like I saw two very different shows, right? Just the detail of choreography, and I know you talked about this with your interview from Philly, like, can we just give it up for not only the dancers, but the choreographers on this show?
Amazing.
Stunning.
Yeah.
And as a person who has been a dancer in their past life,
nice. What kind of dance?
Musical theater mostly.
Okay.
But,
and all
a little
that
bit.
jazz.
Yes. So I appreciate, the contemporary movement, the pop movement, the tutting, that's what they call the style of dance for Die Another Day, tutting, all that hand movement. And I think his name is Danielle, or he's from Ukraine. He was on Madam X. You know what I'm talking about? Shaved head.
Yep.
Really gorgeous.
Sibeli, I think his last name is.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to say his name, but I had to go look him up because he was there.
Look it up.
Yeah. Spill that, team. He was right there. And I know Madonna was right there doing the thing, but I couldn't take my eyes off of him. It was so sharp and crisp and, yeah. So that was great. Here's another funny story. In New York, we don't need to be early. Let's go have drinks and dinner. She's not going to start till probably 10:30 in New York. The earliest she had probably ever gone is like 9:40. So here we are, right? Top of Madison Square Garden, scooting in. Excuse us. Got to my seat.
Bob.
When I was very young. That's like what I saw.
Wow.
I didn't see any of the DJ, any of Bob, nothing in New York. So it was like, got to our seats, boom, go.
Well, I hope dinner was good.
It was tasty, but we shouldn't have had that shot before going to the arena. So then, like, obviously just getting there, like you said, early enough to walk around, get a drink, get your merch, get situated, met the people around us, listen to the DJ, get the whole vibe going, was so much better. And then I totally looked at my watch when Bob came in from the back of the arena. It was 10:07.
Yeah, that's the normal time.
Yeah.
About.
And then by the time he was done with his introduction, it was like 10:15.
If it's before 10 o'clock, it's early in my mind. I'm always like, oh my God, what's she's doing?
Right? Like, I'm not crazy here. So, but yeah. And Bob was so funny because the first thing he says is he's coming up. And I don't know if he comes up the same way in every venue.
I think it depends on the venue.
Okay. Because he came right by us up through the Danceteria pit.
You mean Sound Factory?
Is that the one that's on that side? Okay. Yeah.
He will always go through the Sound Factory pit because that's where the stairs are to get him up on the stage. But as far as like where he enters the venue from, it switches, I think, depending on the venue.
Got you. But he was hilarious. He was like, where are my gays at? And he goes, if you're here in this building, you're gay now.
Yeah.
It was so funny. But yeah,
Yeah, I think he's like, oh, what is this? $20? He's like, $20. That'll get you 2 blowjobs and some change.
Change. Yeah, somebody in the pit must have tipped him some money as he was walking through. Yeah,
That's hysterical.
That was hysterical.
He doesn't need the tip money. Madonna's paying him pretty good, I'm sure.
And he's great. I think he's great.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I love him in the show. I know I've gone on record as saying I was very apprehensive about Bob's role in the show, but I love when something, I'm more than happy to own up to, and say, I was wrong. Bob is a fantastic addition to the show.
I agree. And again, I didn't see a clown ever in the New York City show from my vantage point. Right?
But because you saw it last night.
But I totally saw it last night.
Yeah.
Because those screens come down and she's around during Live to Tell. I didn't know that Bob was on stage during the, what they call, I guess, Madonna interlude. And he's in the front sort of doing the screens.
Yeah.
Like he's operating it all. I was like, never knew he was doing that either.
Yeah. It depends on where you are sometimes of like what you'll see, what you'll miss. But I think that's what's sort of fun about it is like, that's why I encourage people, if you're going to see it more than once, don't pick the same spot every single time.
Agreed.
Because like hopping around and like getting to see the different vantage points, you get to appreciate different things.
Well, and so when I go in Houston, right, my hometown, night one, I'm like in that inner part near the front stage,
Okay.
Sort of more towards the other catwalk that is house right, and then the second night, I'm right in front of the what I call bedtime story main center catwalk.
Oh, nice.
So.
So you'll get
lots of different views.
The front section where Nothing Really Matters and Holiday and those Like a Prayer, those upfront numbers, that's a very different experience watching the show. And at some points, I do feel you feel a little disconnected from the show when she's further away from you because the action's happening behind. But I do still feel like it's very few. I think there's maybe 2 moments where you sort of don't feel that connected, but then you just watch the backup dancers. Like
totally.
And honestly, they're a treat. They are like the work that they're doing in Ray of Light is phenomenal.
Did not even realize there were multicolored lasers happening throughout that whole song. Especially when they got to the chorus at the end. I could kind of see there were lasers going on from my vantage point when I was so far up. But when you're right in it, it's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
And they are just going at it.
That's probably, I think, my favorite number to experience from within. So like the couple of first times that I saw it, I was sort of further away from the stage. So all of the catwalks in the stage were in front of me. But when I was in the Sound Factory pit and by the cake stage, you're in the show. And so those lasers are like enveloping you. It's sort of like amazing. You're happening. Like the show is happening on top of you. And I think there was those 2 moments where I just like let the experience happen around me because I was like, I can't film it. I can't try and photograph it. Like just experience being part of it.
I got like 2 pictures when she was right in front of me during like the burning up section. Cause she was like right there, got a couple of pictures, and then a couple during Bad Girl, which she was kind of like right there. That was it. Cause I was like, you know what? Everybody's got video. I can look it up online. I want to be present. And I loved it. But just going back to those dancers, the Living for Love interlude.
Oh my God.
Contemporary choreography. And they're on their knees.
Going up and down, and down. Like
turning around.
When I was watching them, I'm like, that is like a workout in and of itself. And that's in like the middle of the show.
Yeah. I have to say, again, just being so close, the choreo with the boxing gloves, I was so close. I could read the label on their shorts, which is the erotica, graphic. That's what that says. It's on her robe. And
I'm
on
gonna go
their
back and look at those photos that I took video from DC and I followed her around and I got to I'll have to go back and check. I didn't even notice.
it's on their gloves,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's on the waistband of their boxer shorts. And it is rhinestoned, it's encrusted, but it is the erotica in that sort of script that you
Uh-huh.
know from the album.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how
That's
fun.
that's the kind
There's
of
your Easter
detail.
egg. There's your
Yeah,
Easter egg for
yeah. Because
today.
I was like, what does that say? What is that label? And I was so close I could see it. But
Now, see, thank you for telling us that. That is the exact reason why I felt like her team should have hired us to be the official Celebration tour correspondents, because that is the exact type of fun thing that I would have like called out. So thank you for being the man on the scene
there,
and
I'm
reporting
reporting
that.
live from the floor in front of the burning up catwalk. Yeah, but like again, you've said it before on other episodes. The choreography, the bodies, the intertwining bodies
Oh,
of
so good.
"Justify My Love," and the way she kind of sits there, and it feels like she's looking back at herself, but then she also gets pulled into it.
Yeah.
Now I'm probably like creating stories and how it affected me. But did you notice the video projection like doubled and tripled the circle formations that they
It's
were making?
heaven. It's heaven. I have no idea how they're
So
going
great.
to show some of these performances properly in a tour film, which I assume we're getting.
I just want the
Hopefully,
camera to just stay front
I
and
know,
don't move. I
I
don't need
know.
all the close-ups edits,
That's why, like, I was like, when I was going to some of the shows, like when I was in DC and I was in the pit, I was forcing myself to film as steady as possible because I was like, I just want a plain record
Record.
of these performances without
Mhm.
any bells and whistles, because I fear that the tour film is going to muck it up, like
Yeah.
where it'll just be too many overlays, too many
Mhm.
cuts, too many, like, I just want to watch her perform. I
Yep.
want to watch them perform.
I, okay, so I was not fortunate enough to go to the, what was it, Reinvention, to see Beast Within. That was
Mm.
the opening of Reinvention,
Yep.
right? But I've seen it obviously on the tour film. To see that live and that choreography, when the girl comes out standing on the guy's shoulders
I know.
and she's just, I was like, that is so cool. And just like that, I'm still trying to process like, what is this story they're trying to tell? I know she's reading from the book of Revelations, but I'm trying to take in the lyrics that are coming at me with what they're trying to
Yeah.
tell with
Yeah.
it's incredibly physical. I mean, they
Oh,
are
yeah, yeah.
tossing those
They're so
bodies
athletic.
around.
They're so athletic. It's
Mhm.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have some of those dancers on the
Mhm.
show and speak to
And
them about their experience and like, how do you even train for that?
and you can tell they are living their best life up there. And I think I heard this from your previous interview where it was like they're smiling, they're winking, they're waving at you,
Yeah.
they're interacting and giving you eye contact and like
Yeah.
really just and they're so supportive of Madonna. Like you can
Hmm.
see they care about making sure she's where she needs to be, or
Yeah.
making sure if like when the mic thing was going on, like, okay, we got you, girl. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? We got
Yeah.
you. So that
So
was amazing.
you're going again, yes? Where are you seeing her? You said in Houston.
Houston, yep, which is not until March, I believe.
So you get a little break. You get some time to recover.
Well, I do have a friend that lives in Phoenix,
Oh,
so
that's how it always goes. Once you go, you're like, can I go again? Should I go again?
well, to anybody that's listening, like sit, like you said, sit in different places. You get a totally different view. And I know in Cleveland, if you even if you're just like, oh, let me just see if there's a last minute ticket,
Yeah.
you can get a last minute ticket. The day of I went on, you could even get a pit seat,
Hmm.
you
I
know?
know. I'm a little crestfallen that the rest of the tour doesn't do anything sort of close by now,
Mm,
because as I would love to go again,
mhm.
but I would have to fly in order to get anywhere, and it's just so expensive. And I'm like, well, I've already been five
Okay.
times, like 5 times.
You, me, and Liberty in Austin.
So Austin is the one place that I've been looking at, and that would because of like logistics and whatnot, but it's still expensive. Like
I know.
the flights to get there, and then
Yeah.
like the ticket prices are not cheap. Like if the Austin ticket
Mm.
prices dropped like they
Mm.
did in Philly, like there were Philly pit tickets for like $300. If that happened, sure, then I could
Okay.
justify a flight
Right.
because I'd
Yeah.
be like, yeah,
Yeah.
and
We'll
I
go.
think if I'm gonna go, I need to do like, it has to be close. Like I can't just be like, I'll just get a shitty second level seat all the way at the ceiling,
No,
and
like you want to make
I
it
have to sort of
right.
like be like, I need to get baptized again by her, and
Oh, I did get a little bit of the water from the bottle, by the way. That was
don't
the
it taste like
other.
holy water?
I had to stop and genuflect
There you
after it.
go.
It was,
Yeah,
yeah, it was very
yeah,
important.
yeah.
I also have to say, what's the song?
Mother and
Mother
father.
and Father. I didn't realize from the New York experience that David is right there, comes up from the stage, right in front of the burning up catwalk, as I call it. And he's playing the guitar. And me and my buddy that were there, like, of course, we know every word
Sure.
to that song. And, that's not necessarily a massive song that everybody knows.
Right.
And we are literally singing at him, and he is looking at us and smiling.
Yeah.
And like, it was like he was performing just for us. He was so excited that we were so into it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there was just so many moments like that. Like, that's what's so cool, right? Is just, I don't know how else to say it. Like the eye contact,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you've talked a little bit about this. I think in this tour, unlike any other tour before, she's vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, it's okay if it's not perfect. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And she loves those children.
Totally.
That was part of her speech before Don't Tell Me, right? The second speech was about family.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also Ricardo's birthday. Is that
Oh,
her
yes. Yeah.
social
Yeah. Her
media?
social guy. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I
Does he
saw
do
that.
but does he do the camera work on stage?
No.
No, okay.
You'll
But she
see
talked-
him. You'll see him crawling around the stage, taking photos and videos
Got
of her.
you.
But
Okay.
he's not actually on
On the
like,
stage.
yeah.
So that's how it started. Happy birthday to Ricardo, wherever you are, she said. But that he's part of her family, and thank you for being a part of my family. And she talked about how proud she was of her children, but also like she goes, "You are all my family." Now I'm getting like
Verklempt.
yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves. We'll give you a topic.
I'm getting
The Blonde Ambition tour is neither blonde nor I don't know.
I'm getting goosebumps because you could just tell it was like not put on,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was not the same speech that I had heard in New York when she talked about the life-saving nurses that she was so, inspired by. But she's talking about family and that all of you are like part of her family for supporting her. And she goes, sometimes we have family we're born into, and sometimes you have chosen family, and they're just as rich and just as important, sometimes more important than family you're born into. And it was
that's sweet.
It was really, really sweet. But you could see like the smiles, the simple hand on a shoulder to like mercy, right? The look in David's eyes, with all the interplay that they have being on stage. And then I forget which is it Stella that's in Don't Tell Me?
I think so.
Yeah,
because Esther's in Vogue.
In Vogue. So if it's Stella, there's a moment when they're kind of like doing a little step, moving down the catwalk as a group, and her hand is on her shoulder, and she's got her mic, and her hand was right here holding her daughter's hand on her shoulder, and I was just like, it's just so sweet, what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think she forces those kids to be in the show. I think they genuinely want to, be there and support their
honestly,
mom.
it's smart of Madonna to do that because her kids then get whatever union cards they get for being in shows.
Yeah.
They get to I mean, they're getting paid, you know, like those kids aren't doing that for free. So it's setting up whatever kind of college fund or life fund that they want to use. You know what I mean? Like it's helped building equity for
Their
them
future.
for the future, which it's like good for them, you know, like she's not, you know, like not only was it a gift of her adopting them and bringing them into her life, but she's helping provide them for an amazing future.
Well, and you can tell too, like Mercy, and I think I even noticed this during Madam X, she's definitely more shy. She's not necessarily want to be in the spotlight, but man, what a talented musician she is, right?
Oh my gosh, her piano playing is beautiful.
Beautiful. And then if anybody has thoughts about the whole draping of the
after Hung Up when they put the veil over.
And that leads into Bad Girl. I was like, what is this saying? Because I know she's playing like a classical piece of music, and I wonder what the title of it is and if that has something to do with what's happening there. Because I could see her underneath that veil, that very large piece of black lace, talking and interacting with the dancers underneath there. But then,
I always wonder what they say. Like if it's like, you know, like, oh God, I can't.
What's going on with this sound?
I got to get some French fries after the show. What are you gonna have? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll just get a burger. You know, like
But then like the opposite is David. David's a little bit more outwardly, you know, he has a beautiful voice, you know, singing. So I just thought that was.
I love that he's singing in Mother and Father now.
Yes, and then that's something else that again because of the vantage point, and this is something I think people need to realize, like it will be a different show because when those screens do come down, when you're on the outside, it's the image is backwards or the words are backwards. And then sometimes, even though it is sort of see-through, right?
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit, you do miss some things, you know, that you don't see from. So seeing like his father, her father, his, you know, mother. Yeah, that was.
So basically, Brandon, you're saying cash in that Social Security check and go see her again.
Yes. This is our time. This is our moment.
Well, and I also, I sort of feel like if I was going to go again, just the timing of it, like the rest of February is basically it's gone. Yeah. And then like March, I've got some like work stuff that like is preventing me from like not being able to do March events. So like April would be like a great time for me to go. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to go, I'm like, why not just wait until like the last of her United States dates and do Austin. So
that'll be, you know, before we go to South America.
No, I think it's over. It's over. And after the five shows it's 5 shows in Mexico, and then that's it. It's the tour's done.
Oh man.
Now maybe we'll get a Resurrected in 2025. Like again, we always theorize, and I know it probably isn't going to happen, but like
never say never, because you know Cher did it with her farewell, not quite farewell, almost farewell tour. You know,
but you know, like maybe, and I mean, because I cannot see Madonna going out on a greatest hits tour. I just don't believe that she would ever end her like touring with a greatest hits tour. I feel like maybe she'll do another like greatest hits style somewhere down the road, but I still feel like she'd want to do maybe like she'll do a new album and then she'll tour the new album, you know, and then do songs that she didn't do for Celebration. And you know,
well, so we can both agree. We both agree she's got another album or two.
I would hope. Oh my God, she has to.
But are you saying you think she's got a whole nother brand new tour in her down the road?
Yes, I do. I think she loves touring.
I'm here for it.
I think she loves touring. And I mean, I think that's where she gets.
Versus like a residency, right?
Oh God, no. She would never do Vegas. If she was going to if the only type of residency, quote unquote residency she would ever do, I could see like maybe she like does a couple dates every week at Madison Square Garden for a couple months. You know what I mean? Like, or Barclays or whichever venue, but I cannot see her doing Vegas because that just doesn't seem like she said it. She doesn't want to do it, but I could see her like not like Billy Joel, but like you know how Billy Joel like was always doing dates at Madison Square Garden. I could see her doing that, you know, because then at least she doesn't have to travel, you know, and then that gives us all a cheap excuse to not cheap, but that gives us a very pricey excuse to go visit New York, you know.
Well, and let me ask you this: is it a dream of mine that I would love to see like an all ballads show?
So
A piano, a guitar, maybe a drummer, sit there and just sing the beautiful ballads.
I could see her doing a ballads tour in the future, but maybe not the next one.
Okay.
And I say that just because it's like while she's still young enough to want to dance and move, let's have her do some more choreo while she still can
for sure.
and is comfortable. And then maybe when she's like Stevie Nicks age, then she could sit or stand and just ballad away, you know, like because then I mean, she doesn't have to prove anything to us at this point anywhere. You know, like she could stop today and never do another tour, performance, album, and the legacy that she's left us is gift enough. However, if she was going to, and I think she will, produce more music and more performances, I could see the ballads would come maybe towards like later when she doesn't want to move around, you know.
Well, I'm just probably in my ballads era right now because like this morning on the flight from Cleveland back home, I was like on the iPod, I was like, "Oh Father," you know. I was like, "Oh, that was a great tune." Like, I haven't heard that in forever. You know, used to be my playground. It's like, oh, that's a great take about.
Oh, I mean, you'll see. Like, come on. Like, seriously, I would love it. I like a something to remember tour. You know, come on.
Claim that name right there.
Yeah. It would be great.
And as the podcast tune goes, Madonna forever.
Yes.
Forever, y'all.
It's coming. It's coming. Liberty and I are almost there.
I'm a fan of the new track.
The full version. The full version's coming. It's a bop. I was dancing to it this afternoon. Whenever I need a break from work, I'll put on Madonna Forever and just dance in my living room.
You got the moves, baby.
Yeah, I try.
I got
Madonna taught me. So
there you go. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Did I talk about everything? Did we discuss?
I was going to say, let me go to the chat real quick and let me just see if there's any questions. Hello, UK. Thanks.
Hello, chat.
Who was the guest judge? Somebody had said it was from Drag Race.
It is. It's Plain Jane.
Plain Jane. That's right.
It was funny too because obviously where we saw her, so we're here and we kind of had to turn a little bit to see her, and I was like, it's obviously a drag queen. You could just tell. And remember the friend Greg, you know, that I met, he goes, I think that's Plain Jane from this season, which is the season that's currently airing right now.
Yes.
And I go, oh my God, you're right. And so when I looked at her, she definitely has that look. You know, Plain Jane right now is like the villain, you know, of Drag Race right now. You know, she just tells it like it is, but
that's
you
so
know,
funny.
some people can't handle it.
We've had a hello from Australia. Hello, Australia.
Hi, Australia.
Hello from Sweden. And yes, you should get this t-shirt. Hopefully I'm hoping that they'll like once the tour is over, that all the merch they have left over will like go on sale, and then like everyone can get whatever they haven't gotten on tour. So save up because I'm telling you, that's where I'm going to get the sweatshirts. I haven't gotten any of the sweatshirts, but
I don't have any sweatshirts either.
Yeah. And then do we think we'll get a Blu-ray of the Celebration tour? I would hope so. I hope we get like streaming. And
do they even make Blu-rays anymore? Does anybody actually have Blu-ray players?
I only stream because I don't have anything to play anything on.
Yeah.
I have DVDs. I have DVDs somewhere in a box, but I don't have any way to play. I mean, my old computer used to have a DVD slot so I could watch them on my laptop. I don't even have a DVD. I would have to get an external unit.
That is so funny you say that because, you know, I have a MacBook with no disk drive either. Yeah. And I've got so many DVDs and CD. You can see the wall of CDs that are back here.
Yeah, you got your CD towers.
CD towers. Oh my God, you're aging me. But
CDs in general. I mean,
CDs
come on.
in general, I know. But I want to listen to them and or maybe get them on my iTunes or whatever. So I actually had to get an external disk drive just to do that.
I mean, I even have some like vinyl records and I can't even listen to them because I don't have a record player.
Just which you could see my display of.
I can see you've got some vinyl. Yeah.
Look, I got the
Finally Enough Love.
the
Well, that's
box sets.
wow.
The Pride
Fancy.
box
Oh
set
yeah,
with
nice. Very nice.
all
I
the
think they're
colors.
re-releasing that from what I understand.
Yeah.
That's
It
pretty
was like
hefty.
sold out for a while,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
it
yeah.
was
Nice.
But I finally got a vinyl, a really
A record player?
Yeah. I'm really into like collecting vinyls now.
I never have been into. I'm more of like T-shirts and posters, but I respect the people who have put together a very big vinyl collection. So I'm too ADD to with like every now and again I'll listen to a full album from start to finish, but otherwise I'm just like Spotify has like helped my ADD because I'm just like able to hop around to so many different things. I'm like, oh, I want to listen to George Michael now. I want to listen to Prince now. Janet Jackson, Madonna. You know, like it's crazy.
Speaking of, that was the other thing that I caught. The Prince reference at the end of can we just talk about Like a Prayer for just one hot second?
Yes.
Y'all, that is like a jungle gym for the Lord. Okay.
It's heavenly. Those heavenly bodies.
Heavenly bodies. Yes. Literally hanging upside down.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
That was
yeah, and then it goes into like a little bit of like act of contrition, but like
act of contrition. And I was like, oh, I get it. This is now like an ode to Prince, which, you know, then I got the whole dedication to Michael. And I really thought about something that I think Ben had talked about, like the through line of you know, is Die Another Day and Bedtime Stories, like that moment where she was unconscious in the hospital.
I think so.
You know, and then sort of Ray of Light is like the final. Maybe it's the future, but then at the end of Rain, getting swallowed up, enveloped by the darkness is death. Yeah. And then, you know, you see Billie Jean and the Like a Virgin, and it's almost like, okay, well, is this what it would be like in heaven?
Right. Exactly. No, exactly. Well, like maybe she like, you know, when she was like unconscious, she visited Michael in heaven, and now she's back with us for Beatrice Madonna.
Yeah. Well, and because she comes out in the nun's habit,
yes,
but like the sexy nun's habit, right?
Yeah.
And it is like it's all of her. You know, I've really been back and forth because, you know, that was you know, people were like, oh, what a weird ending, or, you know, it seems abrupt, but I was like, maybe it just kind of like fits because she's saying, this is all of me. Nobody else can be me.
Mm-hmm. And this is who I am. You can like it or not.
Yep. And that's what she finally, that very final moment, she's like, bitch, I'm Madonna. Like, that's what she ends the whole night with, right? Yeah.
No, it's beautiful. Good. All right, well, Brendan, I'm going to let you go get ready for Drag Race. And, but before you go, it's time for a little segment we like to call the lightning round. These answers are just meant to be quick off the top of your head, wherever you're at in your Madonna journey. Don't think too hard. Favorite Madonna song?
Open Your Heart.
Favorite Madonna album?
Confessions on the Dance Floor.
Okay. Favorite Madonna remix?
Okay, there's two that really speak to me right now.
Yes.
It is the Miami mix of Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. Like Avita.
Yeah.
Like I can remember being in the club. The second one would be Junior's Wet Dream mix of Bedtime Stories.
Oh, so good. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. Let's get unconscious. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Favorite Madonna music video?
We're gonna go with Vogue.
Good one. Yeah. Classic. Yeah. Favorite Madonna tour?
I mean, see, you should really do two categories. It's like classic Madonna answers and then current Madonna answers. I mean, there's a special, that's why I said open your heart. There's a special place because I did get to attend as a 12-year-old young gay boy, the Who's That Girl tour. So that holds a special place, but I really think the Blonde Ambition tour that my parents somehow let me go on my own to as like a high school kid.
They didn't know. That's why. They had no idea.
I was like, Mom, I'm going with my friend.
I'm going to Madonna,
Yeah. How bad could it be?
Virginal Madonna.
But Blonde Ambition was a game changer for the industry.
Yeah, oh, totally.
Right. So, and
it's a good one. You can totally say, yeah.
And I got one more. My favorite Madonna book.
Oh yeah. Did you read all of it yet?
I'm getting there.
I was gonna say I read about a chapter a night, and I'm like I think I've just gotten to the early 90s. I think we just got to Vogue.
Fast. So. Did you interview her? Have you had her on?
Yeah, we had her on the show.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Shame on you, Brandon. You didn't listen to that interview? Come on.
No, it's been a minute. I slept since then, but it's so well written, and
it's good.
And I'm like, wow, like you're like,
it's also very heavy.
It's
like you could get a workout in.
Yes.
Favorite Madonna movie?
Oh, because I'm a musical theater fan. Evita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite Madonna look, and this can be from a music video, photo shoot, a tour.
Okay. This is going to sound weird. It's going to be a costume from a show. The Fosse-inspired Keep It Together bowler hat, straps, knee pads, elbow pads, fingerless gloves, kind of that Fosse Clockwork Orange look. That's probably going to be maybe the look I wear when I go see her in Houston.
Ponytail or curls?
Ponytail all the way.
Yeah. That look specifically, I think, is ponytail. I love that in when she did the curls, she still pulled it back in a tiny little ponytail. But I think that look worked better with the genie ponytail.
Yeah. But you can never forget like your first. And when I really, really fell in love with Madonna, the look that is emblazoned in my head is probably that. Remember You Can Dance album cover, the blonde hair, the Who's That, right? What is it? What do we say? Justice for Nikki Finn. That whole era. That's like when it like all clicked in my head. I mean, I was definitely around for Like a Virgin and everybody, but that's when it really clicked. So
it was such an iconic look, like it's because it was such a dramatic shift. She went. I think for the first two albums, it was like she was just a regular person. And then for that True Blue, Who's That Girl transition, she sort of elevated herself to becoming an icon, like it was no longer just some regular person singing a song. It was like this goddess. And
but I can also get behind the short cropped girly show hair.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then when she's all sweaty and wet, and it's just like,
I'm behind a whole lot of her looks. Come on.
Yeah.
Brandon, thanks for coming on the show. I know you're probably fighting.
It's a pleasure to be reporting to you from the show.
Thanks for coming live from. Well, you're back in Texas now. Yeah. Wow, that's a whirlwind. You must not have gotten very much sleep if you were on the plane in the morning.
So the show ended about 12:15, 12:30, parking garage coming out. I stayed by the airport. Smart. Finally got into my hotel room about 1:30, almost going on 2. Then was up at 4:30 for a 6 a.m.
Well,
flight.
at least you didn't have to go far.
Daddy's tired.
Yeah. I'll let you go, but tell everyone where they can find you on social if they want to check out your further visits to the Celebration show.
Yeah, absolutely. I am on Instagram at Brandon D. Harvey, all together. Brandon D. Harvey.
There you go. Yeah. And remember, everybody, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads at MLVC Podcast. If you'd like to donate to the show, we're on Venmo at MLVC Podcast. And if you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, tick that subscribe button so you never miss a video. We're going to be going live with other listeners, such as Brandon, from around the world who are experiencing Celebration Tour in their local cities. So you won't want to miss that. Otherwise,
absolutely no regrets. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. The show just sort of peters out from here. If people stick around, they stick around. But don't hang up because we're going to kiki a little bit after this. But for otherwise, for everybody else, enjoy your Friday evening. Thanks for listening.
Bye, guys.